Hi gang, back again with yet another problem with my 2007 Mini Cooper S. That's the R56 with the Prince engine. So what we're looking at here is the positive crankcase ventilation tube. I brought up a nice diagram online so you can see what this is. This is the tube that goes from the head of your motor. This will be the front of your car right here, and the driver sits over here. So looking in your engine bay, it's on the left side. It attaches to the back left corner, the passenger side of the valve cover. Tube goes down, it vents intake, or it vents the air, the buildup of pressure from inside the motor through the tube back into the intake manifold so that it can burn again rather than vent to the atmosphere. It's part of the emissions control system. They've been around forever. Every car has one. Now on this car, rather than giving you a nice heavy-duty rubber tube like on a lot of cars, they give you a plastic tube. And if you've noticed by my bodge job right here, it cracked. So the symptom of this was a very, very, very bad idle. Now it hadn't cracked all the way through. It had a split in it. And what was happening was the car would get very lumpy. It would run up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, rum, 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 while it was idling. And then other times it would go away, and I couldn't quite figure out what it was. I thought it was a sensor. It could have been carbon buildup, so that the engine was running rough at idle. There were a lot of things that I was trying to chase down, and I happened to be poking my hand around in there, and my hand came in contact with this and moved it, and I guess it was enough to open up the split that was in it, and the whole motor just got real rough and died. So I knew immediately there was something going on with this tube. Pulled it out, and lo and behold, it was cracked right here about 3/4 of the way through. So I took it out, duct tape, of course, best thing ever. Put an old piece of bicycle inner tube on it, zip tied it, and I've been running this way now for a little while. Because frankly, I didn't want to spend the money on the tube, even though it's not much, but I didn't have time and didn't get around to it. So it started doing it again. And I thought, okay, here we go, second time. And I pulled it out, and now, let's see if I can make it do the noise with one hand. You hear the cracking noise in that. That means there is another split in it. And if I go like that, that's where the split is. It's right there. That is it. This tubing is plastic, it's brittle, and it's actually really thin. It looks kind of robust from the outside with this ribbing that's designed to give it some flex, but it is absolutely ridiculously thin. So what we're going to do to fix this now, rather than buy another one, because another one's just going to do the same thing at some point. If we look carefully at these pieces, you'll notice that it actually has a fairly nicely molded end on here. With a quick disconnect, you squeeze these together right here, and it releases the little barbed ends, and it just pulls right off. There's an O-ring on the end of it, so it's actually a nice little end fitting. It's just the tube itself sucks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a knife, I'm going to cut this off right here, break it off. This elbow actually goes out to about the first rib on there. So we're going to take that off and replace it with good old-fashioned rubber tubing, as God intended. So this is fiber reinforced, it's fuel safe, it's actually labeled as heater hose. It's 5/8 inch inside diameter, which when I took this apart last time and measured, the inside diameter on that is 5/8 of an inch. So hopefully this will just slip right on over. And of course we have hose clamps. So give me a minute or two, I'll see if I can cut this apart and I'll come right back.
A few moments later.
Guys, I'm back. So a little out of breath, and hands are definitely a little tired from that because, addendum, wrong size. So 5/8 is the correct inside diameter. That is the diameter, inside diameter of, I can see what I'm doing here. That is the correct diameter on there. But when you measure the outside diameter, once you get the tube off, it's actually 3/4. So if you're going to buy rubber hose, just buy 3/4, and then you don't have to force it on. 5/8 will work. It's a slimmer profile, but you got to force it to get on there. Inside diameter will be correct, though. So it's up to you, whatever you want to do. Now, got this side all together. This one shows you exactly what it is. Guess what? It's a barbed freaking fitting. All they had to do was put a piece of rubber on there and 2 hose clamps and call it a day. But for manufacturing's sake, they went with El Cheapo plastic hose. To get it off was real simple. Box cutter. Cut a simple line. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Cut a simple line. Try not to cut too deep. And just pull it right off. It was as easy as that. This part was super simple. Forcing a rubber reinforced hose on wasn't, but like I said, if you get the 3/4, it'll just slip right on. And then, of course, hose clamp it. Now, anyone who has an R56 Mini S or any of the S models, if you're planning on tracking it or racing it or anything like that, or you're like, I have about 80,000 miles on mine, if you're high mileage, definitely think about considering changing this. This whole thing, piece of tubing plus the hoses, cost me less than $10. And this is taking me all of maybe an hour to do on my own. And that's with the trip to the hardware store to get the tubing and the clamps. So hopefully this will help you out. If your car is stumbling, rumbling, and not idling correctly, or it's just old, or you track it, definitely consider making this upgrade. So I'm going to cut out here. I won't show you installing it because that just goes back together the way you guys took it apart. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Just push it on. And that's it. Real simple. No tools except for a screwdriver and a box cutter. That's it. So have fun, guys, and hopefully this will help some of you. Bye.